Welcome, Aquarius, to your Astrology reading for August. Hope you guys are doing great out there. Okay, guys. Let's see what's going on with you. We are in a powerhouse of a month when it comes to energy. We are sitting right now in the Lion's Gate. It will peak on the 8th, and then it will disappear and close down, right, on the 12th, which is going to be that new moon in Leo. And then we have another powerhouse moment where we have that partial lunar eclipse coming in on the full moon on the 28th in Pisces. So it is a time to manifest, to pray, to get our intentions out there. Yes. Think positive as much as possible about what it is you want, right? Not thinking negative about things. Let's just, you know what? I want this, and I want a new house, and I want that. And be sure about it and get those intentions out as you already have them. Let's go. The next reading will be the Lion's Gate reading, and I will put the guided meditation in the description area for the second channel. You can just push on that link and take you right over there, and it'll help you manifest. I will manifest with you to get those dreams going. Let's go, guys. Got Sagittarius energy coming in with Saturn energy into the 10th house. Trying to get these done. I got to go back to the dentist. Oh, the dentist, you know, I'm just loving it, right? Give me an evening, and it's like, I like mornings, but at least with the evening, I can finish up these readings. Okay, so let's go. I don't like doing evening readings. Saturn, the part of you that accepts challenge to gain the wisdom. Grumpy grandpa sitting up there with all his karmic stuffs, right? Saturn is retrograde right now. So that's an interesting theory. I just want you to know Saturn is in retrograde. Traditional ruling planet, bringing in discipline, structure, hard truths, and karmic responsibilities as well. Going into this expansive sign of Sagittarius. This energy imbues power, superior confidence, enthusiasm with faith, good fortune, and authority. Time to manifest, manifest. We just had that full moon in your sign, which was working with that Lion's Gate, right? If you guys didn't watch that, be sure to watch that video. You never know. I've had a lot of the beginning signs who are actually going off of that full moon in Aquarius reading. And we're going straight into the 10th house. Interesting house for you guys. Your achievements and status in the outside world. You're facing some kind of massive professional reality check here, guys. But one that's designed to elevate your status, not bring you down. Because Saturn in the 10th house rewards hard work and refuses shortcuts, because that's what Saturn does. Saturn says, I don't reward shortcuts. You're either going to put in the hard work, the elbow grease, or we're not going to do anything. Because that's that discipline and hard work that Capricornian energy brings in. Remember, Saturn is Capricorn. So you're being pushed to step into a position of true authority and leadership, which is good anyways. So it's going to be rock solid, because remember that Saturn is also earth energy because of that Capricorn energy. So, I mean, this is going to allow, you know, setting long-term career boundaries, anchoring your professional reputation, but within that truth, which you're going to like, because you're Aquarius and you want nothing but the truth, right? I don't want no chaos. I don't like no illusions. You know, I want it right there, because you're a fixed sign, right? Which also the fixed signs within this Lion's Gate really have a good potential, especially knowing that it's going off that full moon in Aquarius, which hits all the fixed signs. So, I mean, this is, you know, you really working hard and being diligent about what you're doing, and really looking at the bigger picture of goals. Because Sagittarius is, right, is Jupiter, and that's also that King of Wands that says, hey, I want to look at it from a different perspective, and I want a bigger picture of this situation. Because you're not just looking for something that's wishy-washy. You want it solid, a solid, firm foundation, something that lasts forever, as long as you want it to last, whatever forever means, right? A lot of times forever doesn't mean anything, but then sometimes it means forever. It just depends on how you perceive forever. A lot of times forever is until I'm done working at this company. It doesn't mean I'm giving up my career style. It just means I don't want to work at this company anymore. I'm going to go work with somebody else. But however that is, everybody's is different. Getting straight into the situation. Situation is taking place in the beginning of the month, middle of the month, and the end of the month. Going for, there it is, 7 of Pentacles. 8 of Cups, not walking away. Putting out everything I have. Even if it was hard, I'm going to get disciplined about it. I'm not going to walk away. I'm not going to take the easy way out, because I'm not going to take the shortcuts. I'm looking for the Page of Cups. Yep. There it is. Yep. Taking off the blindfold of confusion. So whatever these blessings are that are coming in with the 7 of Pentacles, you're going to get some news that's going to blow your mind. And it's going to say, you know what, I'm glad I didn't walk away from this situation, because I was going to walk away, but I've put in too much hard work. And it almost feels kind of weird, because for some of you, I'm going to say, you might have even felt, right, because there's 2 different groups of people, sometimes 3 and 4, right, that says, maybe I was thinking about walking away, but then this news came and keeps me still, right? So take that how it resonates. But I'm going to say for the majority of you, it was something you were really contemplating. This is not working. But then this news comes in and changes everything around. It switches it all around. You're like, oh, whoa, right? I'm not going to walk away. And then others of you are like, I'm never going to walk away from this. Something's going to go, and here it is. So, I mean, your patience is paying off. Let's just get that right. Right? And for a lot of you, the refusal to quit makes this major breakthrough. And even if you felt like you were going to throw in the towel, it doesn't matter now. Because now you're starting to see the real blessings coming through within this news. And you're starting to see, like I said, because there was some confusion. Should I stay or should I go now? Right? And now you're like, nope, I don't have to worry about that anymore. In the right place at the right time. It's just sometimes time is not the type of time that we know, since time doesn't really exist. Right? It's like time is not really what we think it is, because time doesn't even exist. So, it could be anything. That's why it's so fluid. It just comes and goes as it wants. There's no real time. Yeah, exactly. Patience of time and divine timing, because time, time is what time is. When it all starts coming together and things start moving together and everything's been webbed together, and the universe says, okay, this piece is now webbed together. Now is your time. So in the mid-month, you're trying to balance things out with the Temperance. Find your footing. With the Page of Wands in reverse, you might feel like there's a message that comes through that's not as inspiring as you wanted it to be. But I still feel like that's some kind of pressure that's put on you with the 10 of Wands. But it's not something that's going to burn. It cannot take away from the Page of Cups. This message is from someone else besides this message. But you're not going to allow this to burn you out. You're not going to allow this to completely dim your light, your hopes, your dreams. Because you're still being patient no matter what. And trying to balance out this burden that comes up in the mid-month. But no matter what, I still feel like you still have this kind of adrenaline rush from the Page of Cups. Like you're still like, you know what, fine, I'll just get this done. And, but it just feels like you still have this hope going on to just get this done, get it over with so that you can continue, right? It's always something that wants to push itself up when we're in the middle of bliss, right? To try to bring us down. So this over here just feels like someone's trying to overwork. You've got some kind of news that just kind of, it's a bummer, right? But I don't see it taking away, like I said, from that Page of Cups surprise energy. It's just kind of like, come on, man, you know. You do have the Queen of Swords coming out. Beautiful air energy, you sitting in your own energy. This is your own energy sitting as the Queen of Swords with the Four of Wands. Bam! There it is. To the new world. There's that chapter end. So it's almost like you have to take care of business here. There's things that you have to take care of that you know, it's more, you know, it's like, oh God, really? Right? But you're still keeping that patience because you know that cycle change is coming. You know, because you said, I've already planted the seeds for what I want. So I'm just waiting for that cycle to close. So you have all this dumb shit coming in the middle of the month just to get to the rewards. Such is life, right? It's like, man, really? And I mean, it could just be something as stupid as you know, I caught a cold, right? And I have to call the boss and tell him that I can't be into work. You know, oh God, you know, and you know, now you're telling me that because I missed a day of work, you're going to put me on for 2 days more when I go back. Ugh, why? Right? Because all I want is this new beginning. Or you might even miss out on work because, right? Something happened with a child, you know, whatever. And now you're like, oh, God, this is not the right time. You know what I mean? But then you have to ask yourself, guys, when is the right time? When is the right time for stress? Because we always say when something bad happens, it's not the right time right now. Because there is never a right time. There just isn't. There's no such thing as a right time for bad things to happen. But then when the end of the cycle comes, you're going to be like, oh my God, right on time. I totally needed this. But was it really the right time? Sometimes it is. That's what's crazy. How come a lot of the times blessings come in right when we need them, but every time something bad comes in, there's never a right time. It's like, oh, it's right on time for this bad thing to happen because I wasn't doing anything anyways. Thank God it happened now before I got my new job. Right? Now that's the truth probably to the situation. Thank God this happened before I got the new job. Because what a setback. You definitely don't want anything to mess up the new job. We can always think of it that way. So at the end of the month here, the Queen of Swords with the Four of Wands to the world. I'm just loving it. You're sitting right exactly where you want to be. You're an absolute professional victory, sharp-minded clarity. I mean, you got the victory, success. You've completed this massive career chapter of your life or chapter within your life, whatever the 10th house is for you. It's mostly career, right? So, I mean, in the end, it's going to feel flawless. It's going to feel magnificent. You're not even going to remember about all this shit because everything's coming together so beautifully. And as I said in the full moon in Aquarius reading, I'm not going to tell you everything it said because you either watched it or you didn't. But if you didn't, you're going to miss a piece. But it definitely says, you know, one door closes, the other one opens. But there is, you know, a very general piece to that situation that you don't see very often. So if you guys didn't watch that video, you might want to go watch it. Okay, because there's something very specific that's happening. So, I mean, this is definitely the time for you to complete this. You've passed the trial. You've learned the karmic lessons. Saturn said, you learned. You got it. Reward yourself. Give yourself the biggest pat on the back because you got through the karmic. You're stepping into this massive, triumphant, new professional area within your life. And look, even if it's a side job, a side hobby that you've been trying your hardest to, you know what, but I put everything I have into it. This is my YouTube channel. This is my art. This is my side gig, my band. Whatever you're doing, you're becoming professional at it. You're going to make that money. You're going to make that extras. Maybe it's just extras. But whatever it is, it's turning around in your favor. And it says, you can do this. You can do this. You can make this as your extra money. You can do this for your career. Because you know exactly what you want. You know your worth. And you aren't playing games anymore. And that's what this message says. Hey, surprise. Merry Christmas. Happy birthday. Right? So, which is none of the above for you. But that's exactly how it feels. Right? But it's not that. It is, because it's saying you earned your crown. You earned your crown. You put the grind is over. And a lot of you, that's what this was all about. Extra grind. And this here could have been the karmic lesson in the situation, to see how well in the mid-month you're actually doing, you know, to get to that place. But remember, it's only you testing yourself in the end. Yes, it feels like Saturn is testing you. Yes, they say the universe is testing you, but who's really testing you? Yourself. That's it, right? You passed your test. You got it. You earn it. Until next time. Peace and love. Bye-bye.